And there was a video game called California Games that I loved growing up. I just took it for granted that California was a magical place that was special. There was like the winter games, summer games, and California games. So it was almost like California was a season in and of itself. I've since discovered it's just another of the 50 states. It's not that different. So it occurred to me, yes, we could do Massachusetts games. It's just as valid as California games and potentially just as popular. And then I couldn't think of any real games. But all these ideas that you've got, they take place in Massachusetts.
Yeah. So we have our own Olympic sporting event.
Yeah, but it could be stuff you come up with, I guess.
Right, like watermelon sitting. We close off a section of the road without prior warning, just to get that Olympic atmosphere of very angry car horn honks.
Well, I wasn't thinking.
Line up watermelons all along the road. You come out dressed in a diaper, dungaree top, like little dungaree things, right? Braces, helicopter beanie.
That again?
Yeah, and a t-shirt that says "I am it," and you see how many watermelons you can run along the road and squat on until they smash onto your bumhole. And you just do that all along the street. Just run, dump, run, dump, run, dump.
I mean, I can't crush a watermelon with my body. I'm heavy, but I'm not thick enough. I'm not sturdy. I'm not hard enough, I guess, because you need impact. I would just kind of roll off it. I would just kind of plop and flump to the side in an embarrassment. Probably hurt myself, too, because they're hard watermelons. My butt is sort of hard, but not hard enough.
Right.
That's my point. And I was thinking this wouldn't be a thing I have to do in real life. This is a video game. This is a reenactment, because California Games.
Oh, no. I wasn't thinking about that at all.
Maybe you could.
I want to see you. I want to see you with
Could you just
your
try thinking about
helicopter beanie and your diaper.
No, just for a
sitting
second.
in watermelon guts.
Yeah, the California Games were based on games being played in California.
Yeah, to get the video game.
If we're going to inspire the video game for your Massachusetts games,
Exactly.
we've got to popularize them.
No one wants to buy a video game just called the Massachusetts Games. They want to buy a video game based on the Massachusetts Games called the Massachusetts Games.
Full of all the fun activities they know from the Massachusetts Games, like the watermelon squat.
Yep.
There wasn't. So there were
Dog
no
Scream?
Dog Scream?
Dog Scream? That's another game.
Yeah, the 100 and 150 meter dog scream.
It doesn't sound like a game. It sounds like a.
It's sort of an enclosure. It's less of a game, more of an enclosure, where it's just full of dogs, angry dogs, and you go in there and scream at them, and it's how long can he last?
Who lasts, me? And how do I win? What's again the goal?
You just keep screaming at them dogs until you've had enough.
So I am I determine for myself when I have won, and then I just walk away victorious.
Well,
I mean, obviously you're a competitor. You're going to want to go for the record.
Oh, is someone else doing it?
well, sort of. The other competitors have cattle prods and are gathered around the enclosure, keeping you in. So there's also a slight, a mild competitive element.
So I'm trapped.
You're not trapped.
You're competing.
The people who have to do the hurdle race say, "Oh, I'm trapped by hurdles." No, they jump over them.
Yeah, but I can't, because for me, jumping over it would be leaving and not screaming at any dogs. But there's cattle prod people who are gonna give me a zap or a burn, depending on the prod type. So I want to get back though. California Games.
Yeah.
There were no California Games. There wasn't like, welcome to the California Games. It was just games people had played.
In California.
Yeah.
Right. And there's games people play in Massachusetts already. You know, there's, I don't know. There's...
The Man in the Shed?
That's not a... I
That
don't think
classic
so.
Olympic sport, The Man in the Shed, where we basically, Jonathan, we cover you in spray glue, Then we get a load of barbershop hair, and we throw that at your naked body. You got Y-fronts on. They'll be a little bit watermelony. We will throw hair on, so you've just got like a big bodysuit of hair glued to you, like Harry and the Hendersons. None on your head. And we throw you into a shed that's got all hay on the bottom of it, and there's a window in the shed, and people can walk up and look in the window at you.
That's a game?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's played at the Winter Olympics.
How do you win?
They have holes in the shed with squirt guns. Again, living that Super Soaker lifestyle. There are squirt guns affixed into the walls of the shed on the outside, so people can aim them at you like a fairground game and agitate you. And that's the Olympic game, is who can agitate him the most.
So I'm not competing. Other people are trying to. So it's like a dunk tank?
They can shoot you with the squirt gun.
Uh-huh.
They can just run up to the shed and just bash it with their fists. Just bash, like that.
So stressful, yeah.
We give them a Mr. Mime mask, so they look like Mr. Mime from Pokemon, and they just stare at you through the window and just bash.
Oh, boy.
As if they're trying to get in, but they don't want to get in there, not with where we got that hay.
So because it smells, I'm guessing. So I smell
It
in a
stinks of shit!
So I smell unpleasant, alone, in a shed, being squirted, maybe, with who knows what.
Probably leftover piss, if I'm honest.
Oh, covered in the body hair of many, many people.
Yeah, to give the Olympics an international flavour, you're covered in lots of different hair. Not all of it on the head. We go a little bit continental.
So this isn't... So who, like... When you play the video game adaptation of this game, who are you playing as, and how do you win? Like, there's no points. It's all very, very messy in terms of game design. It's not a game. I'm vetoing these ideas.
It's very, very kind of unsettling to hear you talk about games in a sense that they have to have these strict win-loss, dynamics.
Besides which, there are a lot of strict rules and bylaws and intricate scoring systems for Man in the Shed.
Is anyone going to want to deal with that? I mean, you've got to make a game simple, accessible, entry level. You can just jump in and start playing while still giving it some win states and boundaries.
Well, I mean, it's like American football, right? You can watch American football and sort of know who's winning and who's losing, but there's still a very complicated series of rules involved there. Same thing.
So who's winning? Who's winning in what is it called again? Man in a Shed?
Man in the Shed.
Man in the Shed.
Well, I mean, it depends on what scores you rack up, what tactics you try, what combos you accrue. I mean, someone could get a double backstreet, and that will put them well in the league.
I mean, and that's, before we even get to the issue of are we talking English rules or American rules?
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways it can go.
My computer just told me it has to restart in like 20 minutes, so I'm just warning you.
That works.
So much of a life we lead. I was just really hoping you would come up with something like Drive Around the Rotary, because they have those in Massachusetts.
I could just imagine the commentators as we host the inaugural Man in the Shed. Just, looks like Jane Darlington has pulled off a skeet, which is where you put on a mask of Skeet Ulrich and just headbutt the glass of the shed until he cries.
Oh, yes. Jonathan looks very unsettled in there.
Mm-hmm. And then there's that double back street I told you about, where we've got speakers set up in the shed, and people can just turn up Backstreet's Back records that we've got. We got it on vinyl. And they can scratch that, they can play it backwards, they can do whatever they want with that Backstreet's Back record. Just so long as it's loud inside the shed where you are with it.
That's retro now, There's a new Doritos commercial with a man named Chance the Rapper who's talking about how he made this song, which is not hot. Backstreet's Back, or I Want It That Way or something. He made it hot because it was cold. That song is now cold.
Now, this, I believe, is William Darcy there. He is going for a bold play, which we call the meat shower. He is actually scaling the side of the shed. If he does that, he will get onto the roof, where there is, of course, a basket of meat that's been warming in the sun, and he can pop that down the chimney there.
It's got a chimney.
Oh,
Does it have a fireplace?
Slipped a little bit on that loose shingle, but I think he's gonna clamber up.
And there he goes. Yep, he's depositing the warm, sun-baked meats into the meat chimney, and that'll just go down a sort of a sluice tube and land in the hay.
So when you play the video game version, you're playing as these other people, like Jane McGonigal and Elon Musk and stuff like that, climbing up a shed. And
Do you think we could get Elon Musk to back Man in the Shed?
I don't think.
Fuck the Olympics, it's all about the Man in the Shed now.
So the larger Massachusetts games are over. It's only the watermelon game you were so invested in minutes ago. Just
Fuck that.
tossed.
Fuck that. I don't care about watermelons now. Never have, never will.
We gotta have
It's
at
all
least
the
4
Massachusetts game is the Man in the Shed. There are 4 games attached.
games. 2 Man in the Shed.
Absolutely. Who can make him cry? Who can make him scream? Who can hurt him the most? And who's having the most fun?
It's very,
I often win that one.
yeah.